All right, my name's Todd Wallace, and we're going to cover 3 topics this afternoon. The first one, which most people love in healthcare, is on incident reports. Are you guys familiar what an incident report is? Yes. Anyone? Tell me what it is.
It's when a client, or I guess even staff, right, has to report an incident, either mistreatment or just something that could be concerns to them about another staff member.
Okay, that's one thing. An incident report is generated when there's an unusual or out of the ordinary occurrence that happens. An incident report can be generated if a client is verbally threatening to you, if there's a near miss in regards to medical, medication error, physical aggression. If you flip over, it can tell you what some of the things are. Safety-related incidents, look on page 2. At the bottom, safety-related incidences, medication areas, unusual medical problems. AMA, a client that goes AWOL. All of these things should be documented on an incident report. Okay, who would do the documentation? Because we seem to have some issues with that.
That's involved.
The person who witnessed it.
Bingo.
Actually, the person who has the most knowledge of the incident. Okay, you're going to complete that incident report in what time period?
24 hours.
Preferably 24 hours, yes. And from there, it goes to the safety officer, the supervisor, myself, Lisa, and we respond to it, and we get it over to the chief operating officer, who's Louisa. Okay? Trying to think, have you guys, who's filled them out before, besides myself? Any difficulty with it? Anything that you guys think maybe need to be changed on the form? Okay. If you look at page 4, it goes into more details. These are all the events that can be reported on an incident report. And it's not done to be punitive. A lot of times people think that they're done to catch someone in something, and it's not. It can help us with our processes on how we handle certain problems that may come up in regards to the reporting. Now, what occurrences need to be reported to DCF? Because now they have the IRIS system. We don't do it, that's what the risk manager does. They report those type of incidences. Who could think of something that would be reportable to DCF via an incident report? No. Definitely abuse. Sentinel events, which include death, sexual assaults, things like that. And those are reviewed by the Department of Children and Families. Would you document in a client's record incident report written? No, you would not. Never do that. You never document. I know it seems sneaky, but that's not something you document in a client's record or in their progress notes, that this situation happened, incident report written. Okay? Never ever do that. Any other questions so far? Incident reports are confidential, and they would only be used if there was disciplinary proceedings to be done. All right, I'm going to let you guys keep this. You can look through it at your own leisure so I can continue on. So no further questions about incident reports. All right, awesome. Thank you. I gave you also what's called a quick reference guide. If you look at this book, this is the one from 2018. If I gave you all the information just on these 3 subjects, we'd be here for the next 3 hours or longer. So what I did in regards to emergency codes was give you the quick reference guide. Who's familiar with Code Blue? Who can tell me what a Code Blue is? I have no nurses in here. I think Vanessa's a nurse. Medical. If I am out on the patio and I'm monitoring the clients and one of them drops, they're out there like say for instance jogging and they drop, what would be my response? Code blue. And what else would you say over the radio? What do you think you should say?
I need nurse.
Yeah, you would. What you would do is call code blue, and you would give the location. Okay, and you'd go over to assist the client. If they could have just tripped over something, you don't know that. That's why it's important for everyone to have these in their ears, to have your earpieces in. Codes that we're probably going to see here would be like code blue, for example. That's a medical emergency. Psychiatric emergency. Here in this facility, we use code gray. I'm not particularly a big fan about it. They use it at the hospitals, but that's the one we would use. If you're in group and you have a client starting to escalate, you have your radios with you, just call a code gray in the gold room. That's gonna be your quickest response to get people there. I'm sorry, what?
Publish the gold room.
Well, that's you would, because you would call the code and you always give your location. Because once you call that code, we don't know where it is unless you tell us. Who knows what code orange is? And this is probably one that we won't see. It's for a disaster. Okay, unless we have a plane crash, a plane lands over next door or something like that. Some sort of spill, and that would be code yellow. I think that's the hazmat. We probably are not going to see something like that. And even with the hazmat, we don't keep any chemicals on the facility that would really warrant hazmat. I mean, maybe a thing of gasoline, but we don't really keep any chemicals that would warrant that.
What would you call for an active shooter?
Run for your life. That is code purple, if I'm not mistaken. And with code purple, don't be a hero. If you can get the clients out of harm's way, do that. And somebody needs to call 911. Most of us have our cell phones with us. My suggestion is you go over to radio code purple, and hopefully everyone knows what it is, and just try to protect the clients. I think our windows are somewhat bulletproof because they're the impact windows. They may crack, but the bullet shouldn't come through. But we should go on lockdown status. If Marcy comes over the radio and with a code purple, everything gets locked. We've done that when we have had clients, not code purple, but clients wanting to AMA, and they want to run back in the room and tell everyone or get their property. We go on lockdown, period. If it's a code gray, AMAs, that's bless you. My suggestion is we lock everything. Clients stay where they are, we go on lockdown.
We wouldn't call code purple for that, right?
No, only if there's someone with an active shooter, someone with a weapon. How about code red? What do you do in code red? Code red, you want to evacuate. My standard of operation is 90 seconds. This building, the houses, everyone should be out in 90 seconds. Of course, where do the clients go? And I'm like kind of pointing over that way, put my arm down. Okay, to go to the basketball court, what do we do to make sure that there's no one left in the room if the firefighters come? It's very important we do this. Yep, garbage can outside the door, and once we are over there, we need to do something to make sure we got in every client. Head count, absolutely. Who knows what the acronym RACE stands for? You guys probably don't, as therapists.
Rescue, alarm.
Contain and extinguish. Or evacuate. In the hospital, it was extinguish. Depending on how bad the fire is, you probably ain't gonna stand there and try to put it out. But that's what they stand for. Okay, where do you aim the fire extinguisher if you were able, if it was a small fire? Where would you aim it?
The base.
At the base. All right, you guys are awesome. Okay. All right. Okay, we talked about weapons. Bomb threats. We've had people call and say they were going to burn the place down. No one's called with a bomb threat yet. Thank God. Okay, with a bomb threat, there are specific questions that you can ask. If you look at it, it's on page 22. It's right here. My thing is, I would want to evacuate. And they're asking you to ask all these questions to the person on the phone. When is it going to explode? Now? I mean, I don't, this is just this is protocol. But my thing is safety. I err on the side of safety, protecting the clients and protecting yourself. Where is it right now? Okay, what does it look like? I'm not gonna go around looking for it. Okay, we need to evacuate. Where do you think we would evacuate the clients in the most safest place? Well, you're taking them across the street. Yes, that is good. Also, on the other side of this fence here. At least that way it's more like closed in case somebody decides to dip. It's a little more closed in. That's where I would evacuate. Definitely call 911. And that is a code green. All right? What is it that they, the experts, do not want us to use during a bomb threat? Yes. Absolutely, we should use our radios or the landline. That's what I remember, not the cell phones. The wire, the frequencies, it could trigger the bomb. I know I thought that was weird too, but that's how a lot of them are set up, by use of a cell phone. Okay. I'll make sure I covered all our codes.
Also, the codes are on the back of the cards that are on your.
Yes, they're on the back of your badges. If you got that part, everyone should have it. Okay, moving on to the next thing, we're going to talk about disasters. Now, keep in mind, the facility does have an emergency response plan. I was not making copies of all of this to give to you guys. Like I said, we'd be here forever. In regards to a hurricane, we do have, I guess, Ricky, we wouldn't call it a committee, but that's the only word I can think of right now. But we meet and we address any issues that may come up for the storm, and we have certain protocols that we follow if we have a hurricane coming. Right now, today, we have severe weather forecast warning. It came over my watch. So being that I have not done a drill with you guys, I'm going to do one with you right now. The siren has just went off. We have sirens everywhere. Siren has just gone off. It's during a thunderstorm. We're in this building. They're doing group. Sirens gone off. Watches going off saying that there is a tornado in your area, take cover. I use the tornado as an example because you really don't have a lot of time to prepare when a tornado touches down. So, you guys in this room, what do you think your role would be? What would you do right now? I'm telling you, the siren's gone off. There's a tornado and it's striking the Hard Rock Cafe right now. No more calls. We have a winner. Yeah. No windows. Even though our windows are supposed to be hurricane resistant windows, Florida generally does not get a tornado over F1, which the winds are less than 100 miles an hour, I think. I have to look at the scale. So what you want to do is get into a place. Now, hopefully the supervisor's nearby or myself with keys. You can put clients in the BHT office. There's no windows there. Squeeze everyone in there that you can. Melissa's office is another one. There's no windows there. And this air conditioning room. And any bathrooms, yes, definitely. Okay. No. You know why? They put them in the game room during the hurricane when we had the tornadoes coming down. There's a window in the game room.
Really?
Right next to the door.
Oh, in the yoga room.
No, there's a window in that little area where the desk is, where the girl used to sit. There's a big window right there. There's no window like right where the pool table is, but there's a window there that can be broken if you know. So yeah, I don't recommend the game room. There's enough room with the client load that we have. We have the BHT office with the closet. I've crammed people in there. We have the bathrooms there, and Melissa's office, and the air conditioning room if we have to use it. If it's over in the houses, I suggest the bathrooms with comforters, okay, in case something shatters, because we have the glass doors for the showers, but I don't recommend being in those hallways because who knows how sturdy that exit door is to the side. I wouldn't recommend being in that hallway. I'd recommend having the clients in the bathrooms in their rooms. Okay, I'm trying to think of any other disasters. Talked about hurricanes, you have time to plan for those. We talked about bombs. How about workplace violence? We're seeing something happening in the workplace. That comes under what code? We just talked about it. Purple. Well, that's with an active shooter. That's what's happening. People are coming back to their jobs and shooting up their ex-co-workers. Workplace violence, if you have 2 staff members that get into an altercation, what code would you call? Yeah. Yep, code gray. Awesome. Let's see here. We talked about medical emergencies. You guys have any other questions so far?
Just one. What if you found a gun in client's property when you're doing a search?
You're gonna notify me, Ricky, Lisa, John, everybody. And I don't know if we would secure that because there's no weapons allowed in the facility. We have held on to people's knives and given them back to them when they leave. I don't think it's a good idea, but it's patient rights. So with a gun, I think that if it's
911, let them come and secure it?
well, suppose the person has a permit and they're authorized to carry it.
Right, but what if it's loaded in their property?
Well, that would be, we'd have to make a determination, I think, because like I said, the person has a license to carry it and it's their property, you know, they have a card, we just can't like take it from them. That's a patient rights issue. So that maybe that's something that we need to bring up in the staff meeting. What would we do with someone's weapon if they came to the facility with it? What we would like to do is when they're doing the interview on the phone, for them to come to the facility, let them know that this is a weapons-free facility so they wouldn't bring something like that. If they were to bring it, it probably would be illegal that they have it. Because if I'm going into treatment, I'm not going to bring my gun with me. Like the guy we had with he had not a tomahawk, hatchet and a knife this long. And he got on the plane with it on his carry-on and made it here, not to mention the drugs and the needles. So yeah, he was under the influence. So yeah, you would just notify your supervisor, your manager, and we'd have to go from there. Any other questions about anything that I've covered so far? None? Okay. All right then, that's it guys. Thank you.